రికార్డింగ్ ప్రాసెస్ అవుతుంది, రికార్డింగ్ అది ఎక్కడ అవుతుంది, ఎక్కడ అవుతుంది రికార్డింగ్ అది?
Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Once you're able to see, just say yes in chat box, please. Yeah.
Yeah, visible.
Yeah, thanks. So we were discussing about the climate change. As I mentioned, in the climate change, also the initiations are taking up. As I mentioned, even India also brought up BRSR reporting in part of sustainability, and also European Unions also started reporting ESRS, European Sustainability Reporting Standards, and even SASB also started. Even we have various activities are taking place around the world on the climate action to prevent these incidents like floods or even excess rainfall, even in part of drought situations, even high temperatures, etc., etc. So, but as we see, every accident can be preventable, but certain costs are involved. Okay, yeah. So, in part of prevention of accidents, there is a practice of 5 E's. Like we have 5 S about housekeeping. In the prevention of accident, we have 5 E's. So, anybody gone through these concepts before in your organization?
No, sir.
Okay, great.
But sir, we have gone all through things, but E concept is not anybody can tell these things.
Okay, fine. Organizations have different other the concepts with respect to the prevention. We'll see the 5 E's concepts today. So the first E takes of education and training, then engineering controls, where we have seen hierarchy of controls in accident prevention. I mean hazard. Then enforcement. Then we have enthusiasm. Then example setting, and this is another approach how it can be done. All these are we have done it with some different name or different practices or different set of areas we would have covered. So education and training, this is the first E, where takes an initial step, or I can say for a building, safety building, it is the basement. Education and training, we should educate our workers on the safety concepts and also the hazards which are there in the workplace, what kind of do's and don'ts they should follow, how they should focus on their work, etc., etc. It is the most powerful remedy for unsafe actions of the workers. So if you're the people are educated, the people are trained, so definitely they won't attempt for unsafe action because they know what is mean by unsafe action. If they attempt for that act, so they know the results as well. So the education and training is so important that we can avoid unsafe actions. As I said, the unsafe actions takes of 80% of the accidents. Unsafe conditions will take a portion of 12%, and 2% will be the act of God, which are not in directly, not in our control. Maybe we can control those also, but it takes a lot of time, millions of years. So 80% of contribution will comes from unsafe action. So this 80%, 12%, 2% also it is a theoretical concepts somebody would have done about this ratios. But if you see in the mechanized industry where the manual interruption is very less, there you could see the accidents are very less. So that's why we always trying for now. The AI technology came, artificial intelligence. Everybody is looking for the robot workforce, so that it is cost effective. Even it won't take any deviations. The robots will not have any sentiments. It's not required any supervision. They won't bypass the situations based on if the supervisor shouts on a worker, he'll not do an activity, he'll not perform any operation to be done. So for the robots, there is no feelings and sentiments. So based on the programming, it will go. And also it helps in finding out the unsafe conditions also. Once you have done an education, what will happen? It will helps. Okay, if they see a situation whether it is unsafe or not, if there is no education, there is no awareness, there is no training on them for them, definitely they won't able to distinguish a condition which is safe or unsafe. If you see the workers training program, what and all we should include: understanding the specific hazards of the plant, a process, a building, safety rules and procedures, training for specialist or specialized or difficult jobs, job safety analysis, and safety instructions for variety of the jobs. So if you say safety instructions, again SOPs, we can say here are also one of the document where we can train even our accident records, the past accident records. I can say the lessons learned from the past accidents. That is also one key area you can also involve or include in your trainings. And also specific hazards. So specific to the plant, specific to the process, specific to the building, the hazards, and also the safety things which are there in the plant, and also the safety existing safety practices or the controls in the plant, and also the safety systems which are in the building. So if you say a plant, what we can say, we have a fire fighting system or fire monitoring system or prevention system or extinguishing system. We have emergency control center, and we have a bunch for the plant, and we have an ETP system in case of any spillage or in case of any effluent which is generated, overflow happens, it will go through the ETP. And if you say in a process level, we have process parameters in control. We have uh, safety valves or PRVs or SRVs or rupture disk, or we have monitoring controls like DCS systems in place. And with respect to the building, we'll say what are the various emergency exits and emergency lighting. Building also equipped with the firefighting systems, and what do you call, the building is designed in such a way that the people can evacuate immediately, etc., etc. And also rules and procedures. So what rules? Like we'll say life-saving rules. It is very popular in Saudi nowadays. It is taking up in India also. In Saudi, when I was there, every company has their life-saving rules. In the sense, they should not deviate the rules which they have defined. They'll hardly take 9 or 10. If somebody deviates that, they will get immediate punishment or cancellation of their ID card. They will immediately send you out of the premises. Then safety procedures, as we see in safety instructions with the various names, and also specialized trainings, like especially for the confined spaces or hard works in the process areas or near the chemical storage area, like we used to call as a tank farm area. And job safety analysis. They should also train on job safety analysis, how they should do or how should they think. If they are not doing job safety analysis, it is fine, but they should able to think how they can implement this concept, how they can visualize their work with part in part of safety controls. Now, engineering controls, this is another E to prevent the unsafe conditions. As I mentioned, educational training is the takes away of unsafe actions and also helps in identification of unsafe conditions. In engineering controls, it takes out the unsafe conditions. As I mentioned, the hazard hierarchy control. So here we have poor illumination and ventilation, unguarded machinery, mechanical or electrical, physical, chemical hazards, a dangerous location or situation are the a few unsafe conditions. If I say unsafe conditions which are can be eliminated in the design stage or subsequent engineering revisions or controls, this is the first and most effective remedy. As we see in hazard hierarchy control, we have elimination, substitution, and engineering controls. If the elimination is not possible and substitution is not possible, then the effective control is engineering controls. So anybody can give an example for engineering controls randomly in your operations or processes.
Emergency shutdown system.
Mm-hmm.
Alarms and trips.
Machine
Yes, very
guarding,
good.
interlocking.
Detectors.
Yes. Leak detectors. Yes, very good.
Positive oscillation.
Positive oscillation level gauges, even trip instruments. We have even
In control.
Fail-safe
Interlock.
control.
Interlock.
yes, interlocks. Yes, if somebody
Fail-safe
attempts to open
fail-safe
anything.
control.
Yes, yes, very good. Good. So some engineering controls are substitution of less hazardous materials and also mission method process or vessels, etc. Risk reduction, process modifications and isolation, segregation, guarding, fencing, barricading, enclosure, dilution. All these are various engineering controls we used to involve, like NRVs, safety valves, non-return valves, and pressure relief valves, etc., including alarms. Already somebody mentioned. So all these are the various controls we can implement for the prevention of accidents, not directly, but unsafe conditions, which will have some contribution on causation of accident. Then enforcement. So this is also we would have seen. Maybe somebody, all most of the people are working. The safety team is always enforcing that, following the practices, following the procedures, following the systems, following the rules, following the do's, etc., in the organization. So if you see in enforcement, there will be two types of enforcement, which is organizational internal enforcement, and there is an external enforcement, which is the statutory requirement. So PP, it is vice versa. It is an internal requirement for the people, and also external requirement from the statutory requirement from the Factories Act. And even testing of the equipments, even safety controls, because in the Factories Act they will write in a high level. The occupier has to provide safe and healthy workplace to perform the activity. In the sense of what? They won't write about you have to implement a safety relief wall, you have to implement interlocks, you have to implement a detection system. They won't bother about the high level statement like a policy. They'll give a high level statement that occupier has to provide safe and healthy or hazard free workplace to the workers. It indicates all these controls in it. Okay. So all the statutory safety provision should be followed for the own safety and also safety of the others, and self initiation of, for the full compliance is necessary. Otherwise, the government authorities may take action. In addition, other safety rules for the our plant should be framed and also followed. Willful neglect or disobey of the safety rules or orders should be dealt with strictly. Enforcement measures include new law amendment in the old laws, company safety rules, implementation, and legal actions. If the company is not doing the calibration of their lifting tools and the pressure vessels, what will happen? What will happen if they are not doing it?
Accident may occur.
After that,
It's come under major hazard. There may be possible to fatality or lost time injury. So we want
After
to
that,
we want to
Ultimately, business may get stopped, sir.
immediately it impact on process and also it details will submit to factory inspector.
yeah.
Name
So
of the
basically,
company will be impact.
correct. So for a single activity, you're not doing a calibration for your pressure vessel. In case it gets failure, it will result into an accident. The accident will affect the environment, it will affect the people, it will affect the property. Immediately what will happen? You have to pay the compensation, you have to take the remedial measures, and the authority will comes in. They will put the penalties and they will give so many suggestions to implement. Again, there is a cost involved. So your production hours got lost, but still you are paying the salary for the people. Then you are not able to deliver your product on time, so you lose your name in the market. So definitely your business will collapse. So these are the various situations which are around these actions, because safety, it is not giving any direct benefit. Always management see that अरे यार ये safety वाला पूरा पैसे खाने वाले डिपार्टमेंट है, इससे कुछ फायदा नहीं है. We should always stay in a reverse order. If you're not giving or 2000 rupees of safety shoes, if the person met with an accident, he got fracture, he may demand for 1 lakh. Maybe his hospital expenses are 1.5 lakh. Sometimes the fracture is so critical. We always corner the management. It is not about cornering. We are giving the practical situations, how it can impact the organization. Okay, that is the one control. Then enthusiasm. This is also we are creating always. How we will create the enthusiasm in workplace with respect to safety? Like the concept we have discussed. Sorry,
Awards,
what is that?
awards and rewards.
Awards and rewards. I'm not getting the concept actually.
By making them part of your safety briefings and meetings and all.
Yes, appreciations, safety promotional activities, awards and rewards.
Involving them during many discussions, job safety analysis, like that.
Yes, because we always consider the workforce or the key people for the money which is generating on our products. They are the key people. So, like enthusiasm, we should create some interest on the work, on safety. Like it like a catalyst. What catalyst do in the reaction?
Accelerates.
It will accelerate or it will increase the reaction rate of the chemicals, but it will not involve in the production. Okay, so we also should create the enthusiasm with respect to the safety. Basically, how it should come from the top management to the lowest worker, and also it will keep the workers safety conscious, and it can be developed and also maintained by the proper safety attitude, competitions, prizes, awards, and publicity and incentives. Okay. So how we can create enthusiasm? We have safety suggestion scheme. We have near miss reporting, and we do a monthly R&R, reward and recognition. If somebody reports an hazard, we'll do corrective actions immediately so that they will get motivated. It is not that only you're taking the suggestions. For the suggestion, there should be an action. Otherwise, the people get demotivated. अरे यार हम जितना भी लिखे देखेगा ना, ये कल एक कागज में होता है, ये इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के लिए नहीं जाता है. So it should not be the case. But all the suggestions are not implementable, in the sense a few suggestions are really required, but some suggestions also we should consider. We should not ignore even if the suggestion is not worth, or it is a, I'm putting it in a blind way, bluntly, the useless suggestion. In the sense, there is no use if I implement that. So every suggestion must be rightly addressed or accepted, give some recognition so that it will give the interest on people to give more and more. Okay, this is another control. Then example setting. So it is this concept also we have discussed. This is what is the example setting concept we have discussed. What is the example setting concept? Who tells this answer, he will get 90% score in this year.
By following self-safety rules, we shall set an as an example for others to follow the same.
Okay, can you put it in another way, Srinivas? You're there almost.
Like following the
Concept.
safety rules in the plant, complying to all procedures and standard operating procedures.
First, whatever rules set in the organization regarding safety, first we have to follow, and we have to set an example that we are following, and others also think that okay, safety guy is following, so we have to follow fast.
Safety guy, Karmala, safety guy always follows safety. Otherwise, nobody listen to us. If ourselves we are not using safety helmet, they will laugh on us. What is the concept? Can I say leadership?
Yes.
Yeah, leadership is the concept where we set as an example. I have given example also. If the manager is following all the safety rules and regulations and the procedures, and he is not telling the workforce to deviate from the procedure, then the people also will definitely follow. Because sometimes what will happen due to production process, the manager himself say that, okay, ठीक है, अभी जो ये सेफ्टी सेंसर है ना, अब थोड़ी देर के लिए उसको बंद कर ले, नहीं तो साला ये बार बार अलार्म देता है, नहीं तो बार बार मिशन को ट्रिप कर देता है, because of overload or excess load, or the job which is bigger beyond the limits of the machine, which is taking process. So example setting is always a leadership quality. So not only manager, the immediate boss, a supervisor, a first line supervisor, they are the key people in the implementation of the safety culture. And even I can strongly recommend who are working professionals, you can recommend your manager the safety training also should get for all the first line supervisors apart from safety officers. Then it is easy for the safety department to implement the culture and to minimize the accidents. Okay, so here the top executives and the managers, the supervisors should set an example to the others by self-enforcement of safety rules, and then they will follow them. This is a chain reaction to increase the maintain safety. What is the chain reaction? The continuous availability of the combustible materials to the fire. So that is going to a chain reaction. So if you're following the rules and regulations, automatically your co-workers or your followers also will do the same. Okay, fine. That is the concept. Now we'll see these are the another two types of approaches: the proactive or preventive. Like how we do a preventive and corrective actions. So if you see in a proactive, so what we do: identification of hazards and analysis and assessment, then preventive action, so that the accident get prevented. And the other concept, which is a corrective action, accident happened, then we are doing investigation, finding the identifying the real root cause of the accidents, then we take the preventive action so that the accident will not going to repeat. So we used to call as proactive or reactive approach. I mean, reactive approach is nothing but corrective action, and proactive approach is nothing but preventive action. Okay, I think hope that you have seen these concepts in our organization. Any questions on these two approaches? Any questions on this? For example, if I say in a preventive approach, what are the various activities we'll do in preventive approach? Even safety suggestion, it is also a proactive or preventive approach. Or reporting of near misses, it is also a proactive approach. Even HERA, it is also a proactive approach. What is the reactive approach? You are revising your HERA document after the accident, and also you have taken some additional actions or additional safety controls you have brought into the system. Then it is a corrective or reactive approach, or preventive action or preventive approach, etc., etc.
Sir, one question, sir.
Please.
What is difference between HERA and HAJAP, sir? HAJAP and HERA.
So in HAZAP, what will happens there? We talk about the process deviations, but HERA is not like that. There we not talk about the process deviations. In HERA, it mostly focuses on the existing hazards. But in HAZAP, due to the process deviation, the hazard has been created. Due to that hazard, the accident will takes place. HAZAP is majorly focused on, as I mentioned, 7 guide words: more, less than, part of, as well, like that. For example, 3 different chemicals has to come in, like chemical A, B, C. A has to come in first, B has to come in second, and C has to come in third, with some time limitations. But I can't mix A and C together first. So when A is coming, immediately B has to come. Instead of B, C has come. So there is an exothermic chemical reaction happens. It leads to an accident. So those kind of deviations. But in HERA, what we'll do in the reactor operation, we may think that in case of exothermic reaction, what will happen? Explosion happens. What is the remedial action? We have a safety relief valve in place, and also rupture disc in place. That is an existing control. It will go to the dump tank. Still, it has got exploded. What is the immediate action? The people has to evacuate from the immediate vicinity. Basically, please.
That is HERA, sir.
When we are introducing a new process into our systems, then also we'll conduct a hazard and operability study.
Yes. Even the hazard operability study we do in various stages, Srinivas. In the beginning of the process, in the design stage itself, we do the hazard and operability study. Even during the commissioning stage, or in the which is the plants which are already in operation also, we can do this study. Even
Any
if you process expansions, yes, that's what. Even if you're doing modifications for the existing plant, also you can